Hi ladies and gents, Pond here with another video for Rise of Empires, Ice and Fire. Thank you so much for your previous likes, comments and subscriptions to the channel. If you haven't subscribed already, why not click on that button and ring the bell so you can get notifications of whenever I'm dropping content on the channel. And now onto the topic of this video, it's my next season hero guide, and today we're looking at Rainforest Ranger. Rainforest Ranger is an SX8 hero, is a cavalry hero and ranged hero, so in theory she's going to go on the back row. Let's have a look at her skill set. Skill 1 is the usual dictator skill, giving the extra 23,100 marching capacity for your hero squad. Skill 2, Rainforest Duel prep skill, so it's going to trigger in round 0 effectively before the battle starts, and its target is one friendly, random friendly squad. So damage this hero squad deals, so your squad, ignores 25% of the enemy squad's basic resistance. That's a new way of wording a skill. For the first 3 turns, this hero squad's normal attacks lock onto the enemy squad in the same position as this hero squad and ignores double the amount of basic resistance. So only the normal attacks ignore the same amount of basic resistance, double the amount. So that would be 50%. So effectively, you've got 50% for the first 3 rounds and then 25% for the rest. And in the first 3 rounds, you're targeting the opponent's squad, which mirrors where you are. So if you did put Rainforest Ranger in the front row, she's going to target the front row. If you put a middle or back row, she's going to target your opponent's middle or back row. It's an interesting strategy by the devs. Is this going to kind of make people have to think about in what order they put their heroes in their squads, potentially mixing it up, or like maybe having counter-attack heroes in the middle row, for instance, in case they're up against Rainforest Ranger. It's going to be interesting to see how people deal with that. The 25% though of a basic resistance, the devs don't really explain clearly how much resistance that is. For instance, if a opponent has 700% resistance, is it then ignoring, whatever that is, 185% resistance? Or is it just purely like 25% in how they do it? Like there are some heroes that give an extra 50% damage, for instance. So like Immortal in his 8th skill gives his squad an extra 80% damage. Either way, if you think about that, Immortal is giving 80% damage and this is only giving 50% for the first 3 turns and then 25% for the rest of the battle, potentially it's not actually that good. Let's have a look at her 3rd and 4th skills. Defensive formation gives the usual extra 50% resistance to the troops in the squad, and offensive formation on skill 4 gives the extra 50% might, nothing new there. Skill 5, absolute suppress, so it's a passive skill, so that means that this is only going to trigger after your troops basic attack. That's what gives them the chance for this skill to activate, which means that Rainforest Ranger immediately is a hero similar to Immortal and Spectral Reaper from Archers. She's going to need her troops to basic attack. So for instance, as a cavalry hero, you couldn't pair her with Warlord, for instance, because Warlord reduces the amount of damage that a basic attack does. So you're going to want to be pairing her with heroes like Rosen, Beast Queen potentially, and then in mixed heroes, like it's going to have to be Warden, for instance, who gives an extra basic attack to the back row hero. But we'll look at that in more detail in a minute. So we already know what kind of hero she is just from this passive skill element, and this is going to target one random enemy squad, this absolute suppress. 50% chance, that's quite a high percentage chance after a normal attack to deal 350% bonus damage to the target, so it's not huge but it's okay, and then 50% chance of that when the bonus damage is triggered to inflict suppression on one random enemy squad for 1 turn. So it's 50% chance, every 50% chance the actual attack happens. So in theory, you would get 2 lots of suppression. If she's only basically attacking once a round for 8 rounds in the battle, you're potentially going to get 2 lots of suppression. It's okay, it's not amazing, it's only targeting one enemy squad. Yeah, it's not like top tier meta for me. Her 6th skill, as usual, with a ranged hero, it's 15% increased damage. Don't know why they put the cavalry part in. because every other like hero description it just says damage. And 7th skill, Discipline Cavalry's extra 40% might for all the units in your hero's formation, as you'd expect. Extra might from a ranged hero. And then 8th skill, so it's a second passive skill again, effective range of 5, 35% chance, a quite low chance after a normal attack to deal 600% bonus damage to the target. So that is a decent amount of damage, but only again to one random enemy squad. And then this bonus damage is increased to 810%, which then we're talking about serious amounts of damage. If the target squad's troop power is 50% lower than at the start of the battle. So that is what's that, about 53,000, I think. So once your opponent's squad gets lower than 53,000, it targets. Yeah, it will target the squad with the less than 50% power. So this is like a finishing skill again, which is good for trying to like basically target those and get rid of one of your opponent's enemy squads as quickly as possible. Let's have a quick look. She is basically comparable in theory to Immortal. So, because Immortal is the other basic attack cavalry hero. His second skill is a passive skill. It has a 40% chance to attack one random enemy squad within the valid range at a time for 2 times. And this deals 696% damage. So this is actually a higher percentage chance than Rainforest Ranger's 8th skill that only does 600% damage. The 5th skill's after a normal attack, there is a 34% chance to deal 465% damage. So this is lower than Rainforest Ranger's 5th skill, but it does do 115% more damage. And you have the chance to and give the silence status to the enemy squad. So better chance of silencing, but obviously suppression is a better type of CC. Now Immortal doesn't give extra damage because he has this extra combat speed, but then his 8th skill increases 80% damage for the legion the hero is in. So I really think that he is going to deal more damage still, Immortal will, than you're going to get from Ranger. In terms of looking at her skills in action, let's have a look now. Let's go to Heroes Duel, and we're going to see Leo and Via up against each other in the finals today from State 55. And now Via is using the most common, the strongest combo that you're going to see Rainforest Ranger working with at the moment, which is Rosen, Warden, Ranger. The reason for that is obviously Rosen will give extra basic. There's a 70% chance of giving an extra basic attack in the first 3 rounds. Rosen also gives up to 60% extra damage. She does give the chance for suppression as well, but it's only 25%. And then with Warden, you're getting that extra basic attack from his 8th skill for your back row hero. So if you do pair Ranger with Warden, she has to go on the back row in this combination. And Warden is also, with his 2nd skill, is boosting Ranger's 5th skill by 10% in the first 4 rounds. So that's going up to 60%. And then if it's the hero selected for rounds 5, 6, 7 and 8, then it's actually that chance is going up to 80% chance to do that suppression skill. Let's have a look at the battle report so you can see that Viet did win. And this is kind of best case scenario with Rainforest Ranger. Skills used 14 times, skill kills 145,000. But I have seen her do as many as 18 skills with nearly 200,000 kills. But that is only in this combination with Rosen and Warden. And again, I really wouldn't advise using her in any other combination. Quite often you'll see her, if it's a cavalry combo, she's only doing like 4 or 5 skills, 40 or 50,000 kills, which just isn't good enough for your like ranged killer hero really. So let's have a look at this battle. And as usual, round 0, we're getting all the prep and status skills activated. So there we go, that's Ranger's Rainforest Duel skill, her skill 2, and then all the opponents. And then we're into round 1. So we're up against Bleeding Steed, Warhammer, Lust. Not the best combination. And now here we go. First round, we're seeing 3 basic attacks from Rainforest Ranger's squad, because she has got the extra basic attack from Rosen's 5th skill, and she's getting the extra basic attack from Warden's 8th skill. But if you notice, she didn't get off any of her passive skills, any of her skill attacks, even though she had 3 lots of basic attacks. So there were like opportunities to have up to 6 skills activate on that turn, but it didn't. And even then, we're going to see her still do 14 skills in the battle. So each round you'll see Warden getting disarmed because he gives the basic attacks to. And there we go. Finally, an Achilles heel, which does a significant amount of damage because she's already ignoring. It's hit the back row, and it's ignoring 50% of that basic resistance, I presume. So this is she is doing in this combo a lot of damage to the squad opposite her in the opponent's legion. Now, the other kind of thing to note about when Warden, this combo is, oh, and there we go, got 2 absolute suppressors in there, and she's just blitzed Lust in one go. And that is literally the perfect scenario of what Rainforest can do in a battle when she's paired with Warden and Rosen. If you can just pump those basic attacks in, she's giving that extra damage at the start of the battle, and she can potentially just blitz an opponent's squad. Something to look at as well is that obviously this squad has got is more like set up for CCing because you've got Bleeding Steed, and also you've got Lust, who do more damage around CCing. But with Warden, his 5th skill counters CCing up to 3 times for each of the heroes in the squad. So for the opponent here, literally this was the worst combo he could come up against with this Rosen Warden Rainforest combo, or one of the worst. So we just see how effective she is here, and now we're in turn 5. There's this 80% chance for her 5th skill to be activating the absolute suppress, and we're just going to see basically each round this absolute suppress is going to activate, because it's getting 2 chances, 2 80% chances each round to activate. So it's very likely that it does activate in this combination. So there you go, absolute suppress and Achilles heel activate again. There's this extra damage going in again. Now Bleeding Steed is less than 50% of his troops as well. He's just been suppressed by her 5th skill. Another Achilles heel and absolute suppress. And now this front row is also hanging on for dear life effectively. More suppression coming in as well. Another absolute suppress in the last round. No Achilles heel. If that had activated again, she would have knocked out this front row as well. So the opponent, there was a high potential there where the opponent actually would have ended up with only one row left in their squad. So that's like best case scenario. Now let's just have a quick look actually at the other round of that battle, round 1. And this is the other use for Rainforest Ranger. You can see Leo has used her with Lawman, Hellfire. Now in this combination, she's not getting any extra basic attacks. So this is the result. 7 skills, only 28,000 kills basically. So half the amount of skills, very low kills. And this is up against, again, she's up against archers, don't forget, as well. So let's have just a quick look at the attributes. Yeah. Similar. Yeah. You know, well, that was normal. That was just normal gold gear up against Dragon Master gear as well. So that would have had an impact on it. But really, as I've shown already, let's talk about combos and placement. So look, definitely if you're looking to use Rainforest Ranger, if you recruit her in SX8, then really the only legitimate combo you're going to use her in is this Rosen Warden Ranger combo. That's really it. You might if you didn't have Spectral Reaper, for instance, or you didn't have Rosen for some reason, you might want to pair her. You could pair her with Hunk, Warden, and then Ranger, because instead of the normal Hunk, Ranger, Spectral Reaper combo, because Rainforest Ranger's doing the same thing. She's a basic attack hero. Other than that, she would work with a bleeding, if you had Bleeding Steed on the front row, Hellfire, Army Breaker, any of those kind of really good support heroes that heal. Again, but that would not be my preference, and no one is really using those combos. It is pretty much the only combo that she's being used in regularly is this Rosen, Warden, Ranger combo. In terms of Cavalry, again, she would work with obviously Beast Queen, Rosen, and then Ranger in that combo. But why would you use her if you have Immortal? And I'm sure if you're at SX8, all of you should have accrued a maxed Immortal by this point. So I wouldn't use her instead of Immortal. If you wanted to mix it up a bit, you could put her on the middle row and put Rosen on the back row. You could use her in with Lawman and Rosen instead as well. But again, if you've got Immortal, why would you? But I'm just saying these are the combos that she would work with. There's not a lot of options, to be honest with you. So yeah, that's Ranger in a nutshell, really. Real disappointing. She just doesn't. If you don't pair her in that combo, in that Mixed Legion combo, she just doesn't get off enough skills to do enough damage, and that's this hero in a nutshell. You could potentially put her on the front row in that Immortal Rosen combo, so that she does immediately target your opponent's front row, but then she's going to be suffering as well. There's no healing in that combination. She doesn't have extra HP or resistance. She's not tanky at all. So you really put yourself at risk of her getting damaged a lot as well. So you would have to hope that all of her skills trigger and you are just able to blitz your opponent in those first 3 rounds, because you are really vulnerable after that. So really, yeah, just that's everything about Rainforest Ranger. I hope you've found this video helpful, particularly those of you earlier in the game that are just getting SX8 heroes this season. I know a lot of you have done a jump from SX2 to SX8 in April 2022. So if you have liked this video, please do click on that like, and if you could please share this video and my channel in your Alliance chat, Province chat, through Line, WhatsApp, Viber, Discord, whatever you use to communicate with your fellow players in the game. That would be very much appreciated. That's it for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.